Hi, everybody. My name is Jeffrey Colon, Director of Access Technology. So, welcome uh, to the second workshop that we have. We call this AI Odyssey, and this is thanks to the Peninsula Endowment Foundation. So, thank you so much to Walter and the group for giving us the funding to do this amazing activity. And we are very happy to collaborate with Peninsula Endowment. So thank you so much. And we will be putting this on YouTube so everybody can follow up. Right now we are working to get the first one on our channel so you can see what we did before. This is the second one, and the one that we are presenting today is called AI Everywhere: The Invisible Threat in Our Daily Lives. Very interesting title, by the way, Fernando. Nice. Um, so let's see if we have any last. We the presentation today. Have we will have two presenters that will help us today. We have guests today, so we will be introducing them very shortly. And with that, please try to remain unmuted. And when we will have the opportunity today, we will give you the so you can ask us any questions. And we will introduce the presenter today. He is one of our access technology general managers. His name is Fernando Macias. So, Fernando, take us over. Right.
Hello, everyone. Very happy to be here. And again, like Jeffrey said, this is our second of five workshops, and we're very excited to have you here. We called this one AI Everywhere, and never has that really been more relevant than now, right? But a couple of years ago, we could have said AI everywhere, artificial intelligence everywhere, and we would not, people would be looking at us funny. But now we can really agree that AI is everywhere. It's in the news, it's on all of our devices, it's everywhere. So that's the title we went with today. Before we go on to talk about today's topic, and like Jeffrey said, we have a guest presenter today, so we will do that introduction in a little bit. Um, when Before that, I'd like to kind of recap what we talked about on October 30th on our first of five um, AI Odyssey workshops. So the first workshop focused on really the history of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we talked about way back I mean, we went back as far as the 20s, and really when it was nothing but science fiction. So, and then we kind of guided everyone through the history, how it kind of started, how slow it was, how cumbersome it was. And we did a couple of short demos and they were live demos of a couple of applications. Well, today we're going to build on that, and we're going to talk about applications, and we have a couple of pre-recorded demos that we will be showcasing, and we will be talking about in a little more depth. On January 29th, 2025, we will have our third AI Odyssey workshop, in which we will talk about productivity and things of that nature. So uh, let's get started with today. So we will talk about a couple of apps. We will talk about the Be My Eyes application, specifically the Be My AI feature in the app Be My Eyes application. We will talk about seeing AI, and we will talk about um, some Google products as well, such as Gemini-powered image descriptions with TalkBack and things of that nature. So very exciting. So first off, I'd like to begin by talking about one of the benefits of the fact that AI is now prevalent. It's everywhere. And the benefit is that it levels the playing field, right? In many ways, for us blind and low vision individuals, it makes it so that we're able to access a lot of information much more easily, much more readily. So imagine you have a PDF document that is inaccessible, right? Not too long ago, that would have been difficult to work with, especially if it was something you wanted to read. It had a lot of text in it, really difficult to work with, right? Say someone sent you an image, a photo on your phone, maybe in a group chat, something like that. That would have been hard to work with as well, right? You would have to get someone to give you a description, or you might have to use a rudimentary application that gave you a basic description, but maybe wasn't so good. So, with the prevalence of AI now, and with how easy it is to come by, and how it's really built into our devices almost, right? Um, it becomes easier to participate in things like social media, group chats with a lot of images, working with inaccessible PDFs, things of that nature. So both for leisure and for work, it's really, really useful for those of us who are blind or have low vision. So that's one of the benefits. One of the applications that I'd like to, actually before that, uh, before I talk about any applications, I really want to talk about the fact that both on the Apple side of things with the iPhone, and on the Google side of things with Android, we can make use of artificial intelligence already in on device without having to download an application, right? So that's how everywhere it is, right? It's on device. It's uh as long as you know where to find it, what to do, you can start to use it, and use it very, very well. So on the iPhone, if you have voiceover enabled, you can actually get image descriptions that are okay. I mean, at least I remember how they were not too long ago, and they've improved greatly. They're still not all the way there, but you get if you have voiceover enabled, you can get image descriptions just by simply having voiceover enabled and focusing on an image. So before I go on to talking about apps, I'd like to show a demo of just what VoiceOver will provide to you raw, without any other application being used to describe the image. So why don't we go ahead and launch the first demo? Mhm.
Photo. Time. 2:28 p.m. Liftable subject available. A piece of paper with text and images on a wooden surface. Favorites and salads. Always free chips. Always fresh salsa. Fire roasted bow star. $6.90. Chichen fire ratched veggies. Zucchini. Com. Brassel and comet mix. Beans. Daisy Marie. Tapped with Pellim crema. Cheeses, cold cheese and cilantro, classic quesadilla star, large grilled flour tortilla filled with jack and cheddar cheeses, stuffed fajito quesadilla star, grilled chicken. Fiite veggies. 3 cheeses. Mild anch chili sauce in ochipili flavored fire tortilla. With fresh guacamole and sour cream. $4.
Right. So but can we agree that it works? At least it gives us an idea as to what it is, right? It all of that garble that it gave us, at least some of the words were discernible, right?
Fernando, somebody in the audience told me is that a menu?
Is that a menu? Of course. See, it gives us enough information to know that that is a menu and not a picture of a child, or a picture of a bike or something. We get an idea. So from here, we can hope that the technology gets better and is able to detect the text a little better. But this is already on our phones, right? Um,
That's just the native photo app.
that is just the native app, right? It's already there. It's already usable. If you have voiceover enabled, you focus on the image and you get that. You could understand the guys. I think it's a guacamole or blackamole or something like that. It was not exactly clear, but at least it gives us an idea. It tries to read it, from beginning to end, and it doesn't understand a lot of stuff, but it's there, and it'll. This is the worst it'll be. Hopefully, um, it will get better from here. So at least we know it's a menu. So right, that's an image with a menu. Now, this it works just as well with any other image. So, right, if I'm going through my images and I'm looking for one of a cityscape or things like that, I can just go based off of this description, and I can just a description that it gives me automatically, and I can narrow it down that way. So there's other applications that we can use to get a clear, more mm, legible, more understandable description, but this one at least gives us the idea as to what it is that we are looking at. So that is built into our phone, and Android has an even better version of that that works with Gemini. So how cool is that? We'll be talking about that a little later. So that is the built-in image description, and it works not just in the Photos app, right? If you are on a social media post, it'll give you a description of that nature. And again, it's not all that good, but at least it's there, and it's being worked on. So it's there, and it's all using machine learning, or as we know it today, artificial intelligence. So that's there. Now let's talk about apps, right? So we found a picture that we want to get more information on. This information from this menu is not really useful, right? So we know it's a menu, but it's not really useful information off that menu. I know that sounds like there's some Mexican food on it. So um, let's see what we can do with other applications. So a popular application nowadays, one that a lot of people who are blind or have low vision use on a regular basis, is Be My Eyes, and specifically a feature that released not too long ago called Be My AI, right? So this feature uh, there is no longer a waiting list to get on it. You have the app, you can just get on that and start using it. And instead of connecting you to a human volunteer like it used to for a really, really long time, that's really what Be My Eyes was founded on. Now it uses your camera. You take a picture, and it uses ChatGPT to give you a description of the image, right? This is a free application. Anyone can use it, and it is amazing the kind of things you can do with it, the kind of information you'll be able to gather from an image like that. And it's conversational as well. We'll see some of that. So why don't we launch the one where Be My. Okay. So there's two of them. It's the one. It's not. For this demo, I'll be using the Be My Eyes, Be My AI feature to scan a printed menu. Let's see what we find. To begin, I'll be trying to center the image as best as I can. And then I'll be pressing my side button to take a photo when I'm ready.
Analyzing picture. Please wait. The image shows a printed menu placed on a wooden table.
Okay, so this gives us a more detailed description of the menu. It's actually going to give us some of the items here. So let's see. I'm going to navigate the description here.
Fire roasted bowl for $6.90. Classic quesadilla for $4.95. Sizzled fajita quesadilla for $7.35.
Okay, Now let's say I have a question about this menu. Let's say I'm looking for something specific. So let's see. I'm gonna go to the button that says Ask More.
Ask more button. Message. Text feed. Message.
Brings up
Text
a
feed.
chat window, and here I'm able to type to the chat bot, and I'll go ahead and do that.
Delete. Braille screen input. Dot 6. Cat E S M E S M O R E S A B O U T space the F A J I T A space Q U E Z A D I A. Please wait. Dot 5. Stopping Braille screen input.
So I told it to tell me more about the fajita quesadilla. Let's see what it says.
Be my AI. The sizzled fajita quesadilla is described as being filled with grilled chicken or steak, onions, and bell peppers. It is served with sour cream and salsa on the side. The price listed for this dish is $7.35.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Now I want to know if there's dessert on this menu. Let's see.
Braille screen input. Dot 6. S. Dot S. D. E. F. E. R. T. O. S. T. M. E. U. Question mark. Please wait. Be my AI. Stopping Braille screen input. Be my AI. The section of the menu visible in the image does not list any desserts. It
Well,
focuses
okay
on
then. I guess no dessert for me. Let's see. I'd like to know if there's a salad with chicken, so I'm going to ask it that.
Braille screen input. Dot 6. Cat S. Dot S. S. A. I. D. Dot 5. Dot 5. FOR. Dots. W. Space. With. C. I. C. K. E. N. Question. Chicken? Please wait. Stopping Braille screen input. Please be my AI. Yes. There is a salad with chicken on the menu. The Chipotle salad includes seasoned chicken, lettuce, corn, black beans, and Chipotle dressing. It is priced at $6.95. Be my
Delicious. So this sounds pretty good. All right. And if I'm done, I can end the chat.
end chat button. End chat alert. Yes, but message. Thanks for chat. I had a good chat button. Starting camera.
Okay,
Take
and we're
picture
good to
button.
go.
Control center. Brightness. Select.
Okay, a few things happened there, right? On the yep, the first thing was that the AI, we took a picture, same picture that he took before. So he just tell the AI to analyze it, and the AI told us that is a menu, right? And by the way, this is Jeffrey speaking. He told the AI told us, okay, there is a menu up there, right? And the AI was intelligent enough that is start to tell us the name of the dishes of the menu, right? The name of the different menu options and the prices. And then Fernando used braille screen input. We have to do it in that way for the video, but you can also use you can also tell with your voice what do you want. There is a button there that allows you to dictate the text instead of writing it. So you can dictate your question, but if we did it in that way, the video will be stopped. So that's why we use the screen input in order to don't stop the screen recording he did on that. So he asked a few questions, and one of the questions was, hey, if this has chicken, and there was an option that has chicken. If there is a dessert, so Fernando, no dessert for you on that one. And then would they also tell him that the fajitas and the information about what's on the fajitas. So that's taking the same picture that we saw previously. You see how much information, if we run it to AI, the AI can give us as blind users. So is that cool? All right.
From many different ways,
Yes.
from in your photo app to also in Be My Up. But you could just share the photo, and at the bottom of the share list is described with Be My Up.
Yes, there are options that you can do. That's correct. You can use, if you have a picture on your phone, you can basically go in the part that it says share, and you will have the option to describe it with Be My Eyes there. There is also a way to do it through the Be My Eyes app. So there are multiple avenues that you can take. So basically, you just need to take the picture, and the application will do the rest for you. Okay, back to you, Fernando.
Thank you so much. So who can agree with me that those prices are amazing? That must be in the city of San Francisco, right? $7 for
Oh, yeah, the city of San Francisco 20 years ago. Yes.
right. So this is a great way to access. I use this on a regular basis, right? It's really easy. Like was just mentioned, there's many ways, and some of my thunder was stolen because I was going to talk about it a little later. I have a I I have a little demo of a picture I took separately, and then I shared it to be my AI. No worries. And but there's many ways to do it. It's really cool, really fun, and I say that this is better than most human descriptions of a menu, of an image, whatever it is. It's really, really good. And you could drill down and find out really exactly what you want, right? I want a dessert. And turns out there was none on that menu. So it really just the fact that you're able to have a conversation that relates or that specifically references the image that you shared is really good, right? Because very often you can't find that menu online, or if you find that menu online, it's some inaccessible JPG file that you can't. So then you again you share it to Be My Eyes. You you ask it questions about the menu like you would ask anyone else, and if it has the answers, it'll tell you, and if it doesn't have the answers, or if it's not found, it'll say it's not found. So it's really really cool. Um, now, I'd like to kind of move away from Be My Eyes for just a minute. And I'd like to talk about an application that's been around for a really long time. And this app is also free. And it talks, and this actually has a lot of different modes and uses for it. And it uses only artificial intelligence, right? It does not connect you to a human volunteer in any way. It doesn't do any of that. It's just using artificial intelligence. That app is called Seeing AI. It's one of my favorite apps, has a lot of different features in it, useful for all kinds of different things like reading a signs out on the street. Uh, right? So it has this mode. It calls its modes channels, right? So you can move around between the different channels, and it has one called short text. I unfortunately don't have a demo of that one, but the way it works is you point your phone in any direction and if there's text, it'll try to read it. It's so quick at trying to read it that sometimes you're not even fully framing it yet, and it's already reading it, right? So that's really good for reading signs, reading something quick, something short, sorting mail, things of that nature, right? If all you want to know is who it's coming from and who it's for, and then you want to use other features of it to read more of it later, then the short text is really good, really quick. There is also a currency reader portion, which is what the demo focuses on. And the currency feature works similarly to the short text channel. And that is you just point the camera at the currency and it'll read it, and it can recognize currencies from many different types of currencies. So why don't we? Uh, well, actually, before that, so that yeah, the Be My Eyes, sorry, the Seeing AI application is a great application to have on your phone, only using machine learning, artificial intelligence, and it has a lot of different features. Some of the other ones that it has are Scene, which allows you to take a picture of a scene of maybe a landscape. Maybe you're at some sort of event. You want to get a picture of the surroundings, and it now allows you to also chat with it and ask it questions. Right? It allows you to recognize people, even recognize handwriting, and it's actually gotten really really good. It's got a color detector, which in most people's opinion is not great, but it's there. Um, it also has a light detector, which is really important for those people who have no light perception, right? Knowing if there's a light, that simply knowing if there's a light that's on or off is good to know, or maybe you'll need the light to orient yourself to something. Well, then there you go. There's that feature there. So I'd like to showcase the demo, which is I had a whole lot of cash that I wanted to sort, and I used that feature, the currency feature, to help me sort that cash. So why don't we pull up that demo? For this demo, I'll be using Seeing AI to read currency. Very important when handling cash. So what you got to do is just point the camera at the currency and it should read it automatically. Let's see.
$1.
Okay, it says it's $1. Let's try something else. See if we can fool it.
$20.
$20. All right.
$10.
And then we have $10. Okay. So very, very good.
Control center. Air selected.
So
I've hidden that stash somewhere in a secure vault. Don't come find me. You're not.
okay.
So this is very useful, very quick. Sometimes you just need something that'll do just something basic really well, right? You need to figure out what kind of money was given to you, or what kind of money you're going to give out, and or maybe you want to organize the money. Maybe you want to. There's ways of folding money when so what currency it is. This is a good starting point, right? You start with something like this. It's a $1 bill. You put it away the way you organize it. You sort your money in ways that will make it easier for you to come by without having to resort to this. So, really, really cool feature. That feature has been on this app for a very, very, very long time. And it's one of the best currency readers out there. So just like that, there's a feature called document. So I mentioned that there's a short text channel. There's also a document scanner channel, and it allows you to scan a full page document, and you can even add multiple pages to that. And it allows you to scan that document. So if you have a letter you want to read in its entirety, that's a good way to go. And as of not too long ago, now you can also ask questions that reference the scanned document. So you scan a document, maybe it's multiple pages. You want to ask questions specifically about the document, and it will only reference the information that's on that document. That doesn't go onto the cloud. That doesn't do any of that.
It's on device.
Yep, it's on device.
And it is free.
It's on device and it's free. No need to worry about where's my data going with this one, because it is on device. It's temporarily holding it only so far as you need it, and then you can get rid of it. So
one of the options, for example, if you are scanning a document that is a billing, right? Your monthly PG&E new billing, or the Alameda Municipal Power Unit in Alameda. And then you can add how much I own, how much is my bill for that month. You can ask that question. Once you know that this is the correct one, then you can ask different questions. So even how much power do I consume? And it will tell you. So those are some of the questions that you can ask that document reader using Seeing AI.
So yeah, this is another great example of the use of artificial intelligence, right? It doesn't have to be intimidating. It doesn't have to be this fancy app that you use. It's one that just does those basic things that we need to do. And it's an app that I find myself using on a very regular basis, and all using AI. So that is Seeing AI, and again, it's a free application both on iOS and on Android, and it works really, really well. So That's that application. I'd like to now go back to Be My Eyes, right? And in this, for this one, I'm going to showcase. I took a picture and I wanted to get a good description of it. So this is again using the same engine, ChatGPT, to get that description from Be My AI. But the method that we're going to use is imagining someone sent us a photo, right? So or we took a photo and we want to see what's in that photo, what's in that frame. So the way to do that is what you would do is you would go to your photo and then you would go to your share sheet as if you're going to send it to someone, and you could keep going down the list. Somewhere down the list towards the bottom is describe with Be My Eyes. There's a couple of other apps that show up there, but describe with Be My Eyes is right there. If you have the application Be My Eyes installed and you are you're using the Be My AI feature, you'll have that option on your share sheet. So then you do that. It sends a photo to Be My AI, and it pulls up a beautiful description. And it already pulls up for you a chat conversation that you can just ask questions, and you're asking questions of Chat GPT. So the beautiful thing about that is that really that allows you to use natural language. So you can even misspell words. Sometimes I'm real good at misspelling, and if it's understandable, it'll answer your questions. So why don't we go back to now uh, the other Be My Eyes demo. For this demo, I'll be using the Be My Eyes, Be My AI feature to describe a photo in my camera roll. All right, let's begin.
Share button. Close but add to create as print add say search describe with share with describe with Be My Eyes button.
Okay.
Cancel button. Please wait.
Now
Please
we're
wait.
waiting for the description here.
Be My AI. Be My AI.
All right, let's see what we got.
Be My AI. The image shows a view of a grand building with a large, ornate dome, which is likely a government or civic building. The dome is decorated with gold accents. In front of the building, there is a statue on a pedestal, which appears to be a figure holding a staff. The area in front of the building is wet, suggesting recent rain, and there are some fallen leaves scattered on the ground. A metal barricade with a sign that reads City Public Works is placed in the foreground. There are also several flagpoles with flags along the pathway leading to the building. The sky is overcast, adding to the overall gray tone of the scene. Actions available.
Okay, so this gave us a lot of information. I'd still like to know. I want to know what building that is that it sees, so I'm going to ask it.
Message, text field, group, insertion point at end. Braille screen input, dot 6. Cat A T space C space T S E space A B T space B U apostrophe dot 3 L D I N question mark. Google please wait. Stopping Braille screen in.
Okay, let's see what it says.
Be My AI. The building in the image is San Francisco City Hall, a prominent example of Beaux Arts architecture. It features a large, impressive dome, which is one of the tallest in the world, even taller than the United States Capitol Dome. The dome is adorned with gold accents, adding to its grandeur. The building serves as the seat of government for the city and county of San Francisco. Its
Okay, so not only did it give us a very detailed description of what the building is, but it gave us some facts as well, so very nice.
Be My AI.
For this demo, I'll be using the Be My Eyes, Be My
what happened there? Okay, first of all, like we mentioned before, on it presents. We went to the share feature, and then we select this after we swipe 200 times until we find because it would depends on how many apps you have installed, right? And because it's Fernando is a specialist, he only have like 200 apps installed in there. So then it will tell you describe with Be My Eyes. Then the application read an amazing description of the building first, but it doesn't tell us which building it was, right? On the first description, but it is so good. It described the scene. It was even described that it was raining when he took the picture. If you, it says that it was suggesting that it was raining, and it was correct because the photo was taken today. So it actually was raining. So then Fernando went ahead, wanted to get more information, and we opened the chat. And again, you can use your voice. In this case, we used braille screen input, and he asked what building it was, and it tell us the that it was City Hall, and then he got romantic, and he told us about the history a little bit and about how beautiful it is. So it's so amazing because I think that even if we tell a person, if that person is not as passionate as ChatGPT, probably will tell, oh, that's the City Hall, but it doesn't tell us that, right? So sometimes for us as blind users, having that perspective and hearing the description to something I didn't know that even that done it was even bigger than the one for the capital. So that's new for me. So this is how important it is for us to get that access using using artificial intelligence. Fernando.
That's the kind of description you get from a architecture buff. Um, Other than that, someone just, oh, that looks like San Francisco City Hall. So this is kind of this is the stuff, and the stuff the stuff we demoed today. These are apps that you can get for free and very easily, and very many of you have these applications, and they're so useful, right? So I used Be My Eyes. Sorry. I used Be My Eyes to describe a menu, which is very useful. And I also use it to describe a scene, which is extremely, extremely useful, right? We get a lot of information. What I didn't know was the gold accents. Had no clue about that. I knew it was pretty tall, the dome, but I didn't know about the gold accent. So that's pretty cool stuff.
It's super cool.
So yeah, that is the kind of stuff that you could do with artificial intelligence now. And uh, right now, as of now, if you have iOS 18, um, you can actually get descriptions of this type using ChatGPT from your phone without having to even go to Be My Eyes, Be My AI, but because there's this integration with ChatGPT that Apple has. Um, and if you have Apple Intelligence enabled on your phone as of iOS 18.2, if you have an iPhone 15 Pro or 16, any of the 16s, you can enable these features and use and get these kind of descriptions, not only of buildings and menus, but also of maybe your screen, things of that nature. So this is going to, if it's everywhere now, it's going to be even more everywhere in the coming months, years, and decades ahead. It's just kind of, it's where we're headed in terms of technology. So um, with that, Jeffrey, would you like to add anything?
No, I just wanted to say that um, transitioning that is this Be My Eyes and the Be My AI feature is not only available on the iOS devices, it's also available on Android devices. And Android devices also have a great application called Google Lookout that we will be talking about it in a few minutes. So it is so good that, like Fernando said, it is available now. It is getting everywhere. It's like the title of this, that invisible thing that is going in our lives, everyday lives. We use this a lot for several things every day to know what is around us, to know what's happening. And it will come more and more and more. and we're seeing great things and the great benefits that this is doing for our community. So with that, I think that we're going to the second part of our presentation today.
So yeah, these, like Jeffrey said, these applications, and this is Fernando speaking, these applications are available on both platforms. So, and that's, you know, going to be the case for a lot of applications and features going forward. So, with that, I'd like to switch over, like Jeffrey said, to our next portion, and we are very, very happy to be joined by someone by the name of Lizzie from Google, who will talk to us about features that are on Android that we can utilize as blind or low vision users that use artificial intelligence and use Gemini and things of that nature. And it's really amazing. So, Lizzie, are you there?
Yes, hi. Thank you so
Hi,
much.
Lizzie. Hi, Lizzie, good evening. Thank you for being with us tonight. We have people here in our headquarters in San Francisco listening to you, and we also have lots of people on Zoom. So welcome and thank you for being with us tonight. So take it over.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Lisi Lilienfeld. I'm a product manager at Google, and I work specifically on generative AI for Android, including for TalkBack. So I'm going to tell you a few different features that Google has been working on for Android, and then I'll open it up for some Q&A. So definitely start thinking about what questions you have about generative AI for accessibility. So to start, the feature that I worked on most directly is Gemini-powered image descriptions in TalkBack. And Fernando alluded to this earlier, but we've been very excited about it, and we've been really thrilled to hear from users how much they notice the improvement with this new generative AI model. So before, this feature might say something like, you know, a moon over the water. And if right with the new model, it would give a very, very detailed description of the scene and the buildings and the lighting. And I mean, I don't need to go into it because you've heard some of these detailed descriptions, but very, very detailed. Users are loving it. I heard some feedback actually just today from somebody who was saying that his friends are all posting family photos, like Christmas photos, on social media, and he's using the TalkBack image description feature to hear details of everybody's nice, beautiful family photos and how it makes him feel like he can actually comment on their pictures and like really feels included in that experience on social media. So that's been great. Some other features that I have to tell you about. Also on Android, there's an app called Lookout. I know you already heard the demo of Seeing AI, the features like sorting cache and scanning documents. Lookout has that functionality as well. And they actually also just launched an image description feature that does allow you to do Q&A, like ask questions about images. So that's also available on Lookout. Two more products that I'll talk about. On Pixel phones specifically, there's a feature called Guided Frame in the camera app. This one is pretty great. It helps people take good photos. So if you have TalkBack on and you're on a Pixel device and you open the camera, it will tell you like move the camera up, move the camera down, tilt it a little bit, and when your face is nicely centered, it will automatically take a good photo. So that one is very exciting, and it just got some updates recently to give even better guidance on how to position the camera and how to fix the lighting. And the last feature that I'll talk about is called Magnifier. This is also for Pixel. This is for low vision users. And Magnifier lets you point the phone camera at something and zoom in up to 20x. So it keeps the resolution really crisp. I was actually very impressed at how sharp it keeps the image. So if you want to look at something really, really zoomed in, Magnifier works better than like the regular camera app for zooming in and keeping things really sharp. And it does also let you search for particular words. If you zoom in really, really far, it will give you like a little picture-in-picture view to help you stay oriented where you are in the larger camera view. So these are just some of the updates that have been happening on Android and on Pixel specifically. And so now I'd like go ahead.
So, sorry, Lisa, if you already finished. No, I was saying that and this is Jeffrey speaking, it's so amazing to see the new features on the Android phones that we even saw the commercial for the guided frame feature on the Super Bowl this year. So cool.
Awesome. So to wrap
I
up,
saw it.
oh yeah. I was just going to say that I know that probably many of you have questions about AI and kind of when we use it and why we use it and what we think about when we use it and when we don't use it. So this is a big part of my job as a product manager. I decide what we should build and when we feel like technology is ready, when it's not ready, how to scope a feature and decide what we use it for and what we don't use it for. And thinking about things like, is the quality high enough? What are users' expectations around what it can and can't do? How we think about fairness and privacy. So these are just some of the things that I think about in my job, and I would love to take your questions.
Sure. With that, let's start with questions here in the room. If you have a question, please let us know, and RF will help us give me a second the mic, and we will pass the mic out to you so everybody on Zoom can hear it. Yeah, we're coming with the mic.
Yeah, we'll be needing the mic so everybody could hear who's on Zoom. Thank you, Lizzie.
Thanks so much for your continued effort to enhance the lives of individuals with visual disabilities and for continuing the product. And now are any of the products you're working with at Google expected to be integrated in other devices like the Meta glasses, the Envision glasses that create kind of a hands-free opportunity to capture imagery and videos? And that's my first question. And my second question is, one of the apps that was mentioned tonight, just within the last couple of weeks, came out with, you can take short videos now and get automatically generated video description, just like you can with the picture. And is that part of what your product line is moving into? Thank you.
Thank you so much for those questions.
Sorry, Lisa, can you tell us your name first? I forgot to ask. Sorry.
Yeah, this is Lisa.
The person who asked the question. Sorry, he said.
I'm so sorry. This is Walt Ranieri.
Walter. Thank you, Walter. And Walter is from the Peninsula Endowment Foundation. He's our grantee. So thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share this with our community tonight.
I mean, this is exactly what innovation is all about right here.
Thank you so much. Lizzie.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. This is Lisa again. Thank you for those questions. And I'm going to really take those as feature requests, as ideas. I can't comment on anything specific in our future roadmaps, but I love those ideas, and it's so exciting to see that technology is becoming possible. And I will log those away. Thank you so much.
We had an individual
question on the room. Go ahead, Juanita. No, that's fine. Let's do some questions on the chat.
I thought we were going to do one-on-one. So there was someone who raised their hand here on Zoom. I'm going to ask them to unmute.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, Sabia Wara. Okay, I am going to, first off, I'm really grateful for you doing this. There's just so much, the apps are evolving every day, and I use them a lot. Be My Eyes, particularly, Be My AI. And I just want to say that it's gotten so much better with language recognitions, integrating so many more languages, and even handwriting. So not just print, but I just tried it out a few weeks ago with the, a few languages. It was amazing. And not only did it recognize, but it also, like, I wrote a lyric for, 2 lines of a song or something. And not only did it read it, it told me where it was from and everything, a history, a brief, and then yeah, it even translated it for me. So it's amazing. One thing though, I did reach out to Microsoft regarding, when you take a picture, say you're trying to read some information on a box of a product or something, and if I ask it a question, it will say, "Well, I don't see it on this side. Maybe you need to turn the box over to another side." So you want to take the picture again, but there is no way to do it, like in a continuous chat. So it then wants you to go to the camera app and then upload the picture the second time, which then breaks the thread of the chat. So I did reach out to them, and I'm going to probably write a review as well. All right. Well, other than that, yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, well, that's a
Thank
lovely
you.
suggestion. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Anyone have questions for Lisi? Here in the room or in the chat?
I see a hand from Mary.
There are a couple hands raised here on the Zoom. So I believe
There is
Mary.
one.
Oops.
Okay, let's do one with Juanita, and then we will go back on the room here. Okay. Yes, Juanita.
Okay, Mary.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm just so grateful that you guys are doing this workshop. And I have a question for Miss Lisi. I just started using Pixel 8a last week. And I'm glad you had mentioned the guided frame. And I was wondering, does the guided frame, can you only use that for a selfie? Or like, let's say I have a product in front of me and I would like to take a picture of it. Will the Google camera could also guide me on using that feature?
I think it does have object detection as well. Guided frame is not one that I worked on directly, but yeah, definitely give it a try.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Can I say something really quick just on that? So I've taken pictures of documents with the guided frame, and it recognizes a document for me for sure. And it actually does exactly that. It takes a photo when it finds that it's well framed.
That's
Awesome.
super cool.
Oh, thank you.
It doesn't surprise me that you would know better than I do.
No problem. And we have a question here in the room.
With the, I'm
You say your
Linda.
name, please.
Yeah, I'm Linda here. Since you're from Google, will you have a feature on your app or whatever to read street signs as well and be descriptive, like where you are related to those street signs?
Like getting yourself oriented when you're navigating outdoors relative to street signs. Yeah, that's also a great suggestion.
Yeah,
certainly,
that'd be good.
yeah, something like I mean, right, the image description feature in TalkBack. If you took a picture of where you were, you could use it to describe. But as somebody just said, oh, Sabiha said, right, like you would want like a continuous mode, presumably. I don't know. Actually, Lookout has an explore mode. That's probably I might look at that one. And again, here, if somebody who uses these apps out every day wants to chime in, go for it.
No problem. But yes, it's a good request, and also for other apps too, right? Like knowing in relationship to where we take a picture, where we are. There will be some of us, but if we can continue that orientation based on that, Like probably instead of being a picture, probably will be a live mode, right? So it will be easier to follow up. I imagine that that's at some point some of that will be explained on AI. It's already happening with some of the features, but probably will start getting better. Any other questions here in the room for Lizzie regarding the pros we mentioned today, the great lookout application, the guided frame and the magnifier, which by the way, 20x is super great. We have lots of low vision students that are using Android phones and they needed to basically take a picture of something. Maybe we have low vision people that does drawing, and sometimes they just want to know those final details. Do I delete everything there, or do this shadow reflects on my drawing? And sometimes doing that, for example, that going that deeper into those 20x would allow some low vision users to find exactly what they're looking for in a picture. So this is super great.
I've also found
We have a question, great. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lizzie.
I was going to say magnifier, I've also found to be great if I'm just feeling lazy and I don't want to like get up and walk across the room to see what the sign says. Just magnify it.
That's a great use for it.
That's a great use for it. Okay, we have a question here in the room.
Hi, my name's Kate. You mentioned some privacy. So obviously this is an issue if you can't really see what you're taking pictures of. I was wondering what you do to protect people's privacy.
Absolutely. So we thought of this issue specifically for the Gemini feature in TalkBack, and that is why we do not save the images that users are asking for descriptions. So we actually have two versions of the feature. We have an on-device version where the photos never leave the device that's available on the Pixel 9 devices. It requires like the most sophisticated hardware, and so it's only available on the Pixel 9s. But where we have the hardware to support it, the images stay on the device. The trade-off there is that the on-device model is not as powerful. So there's that option on the Pixel 9s. And then for the server-side model, which gives much more detailed descriptions and is available across Android devices, the image does need to be sent to the server to be processed, but the image is never saved. And so the description is returned, and then the image is not saved, and the description is not saved. So we think about this all the time.
Thank you so much, Lizzie. Juanita, any questions on the chat for Lizzie or on the Zoom with the hands?
Yes, so we have Jeff Buckwalter. He's had his hand raised for a while. And then we also have a question in the chat that we can address maybe after Jeff's question.
Take it away, Jeff.
Take it away, Jeff, one of our own instructors.
Hi, Leslie. Thanks for your presentation. Generative AI sometimes suffers from hallucinations. What do you folks do to protect yourself against hallucinations?
It does indeed hallucinate sometimes. One of the things that I think about a lot is what data has the model been trained on, right? If you're asking it to do something that is very much within what it has been taught to do, it will tend to do it accurately. So for example, describing images is like a pretty core use case that image models are trained for. So they tend to perform better. The other thing that I think about is what is the user's mental model? What is their expectation of what the model can do? Where you get into problems is where the input is really far out from what the model has seen, or where the user's expectation of what the model can do, right? So then they're asking it to do something that's very far out of what it can do. Those are the situations that more often will result in hallucinations. And that's something that I think about for blind users specifically, is that if they don't know what's on the screen, they are more likely to ask about things that may not be there. And that actually could be a risk for hallucinations. And so that's why when I design features for specifically this user group, I think a lot about how we can help users understand what the model can do well and kind of steer their expectations and constrain the product so that we are more likely to stay in this phase space where it's high quality.
Thanks. I
Thank you for
appreciate that a
answer.
lot.
Yeah, totally. And I think that actually leads beautifully into Wendy's question in the chat, which was, in what situations should you not use AI? And right, of course, this is very relevant because it does hallucinate sometimes. So I would say, do not use it for things that are medical, legal, financial, right? Anything with big consequences. Yeah, get a second opinion, double check it yourself, right? For sure, I would say do not make major life decisions based on what the AI is telling you, at least
Please.
not in 2024. Ask again in 2027, but right now, no, don't. Yeah, right. Anything that's high stakes. But I think this is also why like image description is a nice place to start. And then as the models become more robust, we can think about moving to higher stakes use cases. But yes, if it's high stakes, definitely double check.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Lizzie, for this great presentation and seeing what's out there, what's happening on the Android with the new apps, with the new features that we're seeing on the lookout and guided frame, magnifier, and others. And so, yeah, we have time for one more questions. We had time for a few questions. Yeah.
There you go.
Excellent. This is Walter Neri again, and thank you again, Lisi. My question is with regard to the learning ability of the Gemini large language model. Often when I'm using AI and I know that it's made a mistake, I correct it, and it learns from my feedback that it just made a mistake, and it corrects itself and then doesn't make that same mistake again. How is the learning feature incorporated within the Gemini large language model that is connected into these various tools that you're talking about?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think what you're describing is when you're in an ongoing chat with a model, that it's actually bringing the context from what you've told it before. So you say the first question and then it gives a response, and then you ask the next thing, and it's actually keeping the context from what you've said before just in that conversation. And then when you leave or you start a new chat thread, it's actually going to drop that. So I think what you're talking about only applies if you have kind of these multi-turn threads. So for something like the image descriptions in TalkBack, it's just kind of each one is a one-off and you're not giving it new information. But I think what you saw in like Be My AI, I'm guessing because you can do the Q&A and you're doing these multi-turns, it's probably bringing that context along with it. But then just to make a distinction here, right, retraining the model or fine-tuning the model is a different process that happens, by the model provider, and that's different than the feedback that a user is giving it which is just retained over the course of one session, if that makes sense.
Yep. Thank you so much, Lizzie.
Welcome.
That's super great. Very helpful. Yeah, let's continue with and Lizzie, you're welcome to hang on and to see if we got more questions. We wanted to take this opportunity. We still have like 10 more minutes left, so we will continue with with some more questions, and based off that we heard information about privacy, right? We heard information about hallucinations. Those happen. Remember that when we try to read if we go back to the beginnings of the 2000s, we have open book, and we press the space bar to scan, and then it scan the text. We got multiple errors, right? And we have to rescan it again, and sometimes find another alternative. So we always recommend for users to use a second app. For example, you are on Google, use the lookout, use Be My AI, so using the Be My AI feature, find alternatives to make sure you're getting a second opinion on the AI side, but also like Lizzie and we have seen like personal stuff. Make sure that you definitely don't go ahead and think that you won the lottery because you read the numbers and then you start promising things and then you will be in trouble. So make sure that you have that second thought, or that if it's very important, don't rely on it. That's a principle that we recommend here on Access Technology. The other thing is maintain within the confines of what you're asking to a picture, right? Like Lizzie said, but let's try to maintain in, like, if you are talking about the description of the city hall and you started to ask the AI about some of the areas, don't just oh, can you tell me what's on the floor? Or things like that. It might work, but also remember, try to maintain within the what you remember at the beginning of that conversation. And if you have doubt, just close the chat and restart a new chat to avoid what we have seen, like the hallucinations, or asking for something that just was launched today and you want Gemini or any other AI to give you information, and probably because the language, remember, they're learning every day. Maybe what was released today, they still not in their learning models, right? So what will happen if they don't have it in the model? Probably they will tell you something funny about it. So always try to maintain that in mind. Keep that in mind when you are working with these apps, making sure that you stay and those ask those questions related to what you're seeing on the text, and try to maintain. And if you have, you can also remember, this is natural language. You can also do the questions in another way, like try to use different language. And don't need to be very specific. Do it in your own words, and if it doesn't work, try it again. And we are seeing great results on that. So we're seeing like lots of students. Are one of our youngest students of 85-year-old, and a very young and a very old student of 26, using those devices and getting very good results with it. Other questions that we have regarding these topics, what we have presented today about where we are seeing AI, for example, and we will talk about on the next sessions what's coming next. We will have one that will talk about productivity. So we will be talking there about the new feature that was launched on JAWS, that now you can ask AI to give you the keystrokes that you can use to do something. Because if you ask, for example, if you go to Microsoft Word and you ask the AI feature there, they might tell you how to do things, but it might tell you how to do it with the mouse. But now with JAWS, they have a feature that you can ask directly, and it will tell you how to do all the keystrokes that you need to do things on the keyboard. For example, adding headings to a text, it will tell you how to do it. And if you wanted to know, okay, what is the keystroke to insert footnotes, it will tell you that. So it's based in case and active cases that are tailored to users of the screen readers. So we will talk about how just use AI to do that. So we will talk that about when we do the productivity. We are seeing AI in multiple areas. This year, we will do a presentation on season on the CSUN conference. I'm promoting myself here. And Fernando and Arif, we will be talking about how to program using Python, and how that you can use AI as a blind programmer, start doing some program code using the NVDA screen reader, even JAWS, and a little bit of AI. So it's called Python and a little bit, a touch of AI. So with that, let's see what other questions we have in the chat or here in the room about where we're seeing AI going.
We have somebody by the name of Shauna who has their hand raised.
Okay, and then we have somebody in the room here. Yes, thank you, Juanita.
Take it away, Shauna.
Okay, my question was also having to do with, I guess you'd say hallucination, but I was beta testing an app, and it was like this, where you could ask it questions in the chat, and I was at Starbucks and I asked it to read a sign to me, and it was talking about different pecan drinks. And so I asked, what type of pecan drinks are they talking about? And it started to extrapolate about like butter pecan and maple pecan and things like that that Starbucks obviously doesn't have. How do you guard against that sort of thing where it just makes assumptions?
It does sometimes, and that is where the technology is at the moment. But this is definitely something that research teams work on and are trying to improve.
Thank
That's
you.
super cool.
Thank you, Shanna.
Probably, China, I will try it again. But it happens to us, and sometimes you laugh because you even will notice that, wow, it sounds so convincing that I should trust this, but you know that that's not. So it happens. We understand that, and it's not on Google; it's on all of them. So we wanted to make sure that it doesn't happen on Gemini, that it will happen on GPT, it will happen on others too.
Hallucinations, as of now, are a part of the experience.
But like we said, if we tried it last year, that was interesting. And now we're seeing getting better. But yes, always, if you always have doubts, try it again. And we know, recognizing that we might see something strange, but usually it will be good.
Someone have a question in the room?
We have a question here.
Hi, this is James. So I have a question. Some time ago, probably a few years ago, when I was playing with Seeing AI, I learned about this feature where you can take a picture in the scene of the scene, and then with your finger on the screen of your iPhone, you can point to different places and get specific information about where you're pointing. And I haven't had much of a chance to play with Be My AI, but just curious how well this kind of pointing feature works, either in the context of pointing on the screen of your phone or pointing, with one hand holding the phone to take a picture of the scene and the other hand pointing in a particular direction so the camera can see your finger pointing. So just a general question, how well that works, or is that something people want to use or not?
Lisi, do you have input on that?
I'll take that one as a feature request. I don't know if either of you have an answer.
I have used that in Seeing AI. I have used it, and it works. Basically, they use, because AI integrates some other stuff like augmented reality, right? Like basically, we'll use a little bit of AR there to let us know what we are pointing, and it works really well. I took it. We did a presentation last year at Cornell University, and we talked about it. We showed that feature that basically we point with the finger and we hear the beep, beep, and then it will tell us that there's a water bottle. So it is right. For us, it will work. But as blind users, we need to know exactly the situation that we have is the perspective, the mirror effect. That as blind users, sometimes we forget the perspective of the picture and not the perspective of what we think is the right side. So we need to take that into consideration. It's just a learning curve that will happen to us when we are working with this type of technology, from the perception of the picture to know exactly what we are. Once the picture is taken and I am pointing with my device, it's a little bit different that when I am doing live, like you mentioned, because there are two examples here. One is when the picture is already taken and you're pointing at it on your phone, right? Touching your phone to know, exploring with your fingers, explore by touch to know where you are. That's one thing. And the other one is when you are live, pointing at a thing, and it will tell you. And it works on both ends. For example, we will do that in the next few sessions. We have doing even with the Meta glasses. I'm at the store and I said, "What's the price of this?" Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. The majority of the times it works. So we're seeing good things coming with AI in there. Same as the new Apple feature, right? That we have on the iPhone, that we can use the point and touch, and it will tell you on the microwave which and what of the numbers that you're pointing, or what of the options. Like if you're doing the popcorn That's the popcorn button, etc. So yes, we are seeing that, and that's where we're seeing AI getting better.
Thank you very much. Any more questions online or in the room? Anyone? Sounds good. Take it away.
It's a comment. This is Walt Ranieri again. It's a combination comment slash suggestion slash question. All of the features that you described in all of the different apps, from Gemini to ChatGPT, Seeing AI, Be My AI feature within the Be My Eyes app, all of which are really worth exploring. And the use cases that were described tonight are just the tip of the iceberg. When they were looking at that menu, they could actually begin to interrogate the menu. The menu comes alive. And in addition to the huge breakthrough was the random access to the information, that you can randomly access information on the page now rather than having to start in the top left corner and in the bottom right. I mean, that's the huge, and it's only been a year. And the only other thing is, very recently, Seeing AI came out with a create your own audio description with short videos, which is just amazing. I've done it. It's quite remarkable that it's giving you real-time audio description of a short video. And it's easy to use. So my question is, really, for everyone that's virtual, everyone that's here in the room, to think about use cases in your life that you didn't think were possible with AI, and try them out. You can ask a menu to suggest things to you if you're trying to cut down on red meat. It will literally filter the menu and give you options that have protein and vegetables, but no red meat in them, for example. And these are things you can take a picture of the receipt after you've had your meal, and you can get Seeing AI or Be My Eyes to separate out the portions of a multiple itemed menu, get your items, add your share of the tax, your share of the appetizers, add a gratuity, and tell you what your total is for that bill. Yep. I mean, it's quite amazing. So I guess my final question is, with regard to the hallucination issue and protecting against it, is it, common sense is key. You have to sort of know what you're focusing on to know that maybe the pecan pie latte is not really on the menu. But are there guidelines, and maybe this is a question for Lisa as well, that you guys know of where they're presenting hallucination danger zones, like warning, what you're about to do might produce a hallucination effect? Is there anything like that you know of in the works? Because as we explore, as we push the envelope on these use cases, we're going to get deeper and deeper into being able to really use our devices like prosthetics and be able to sort the mail, sort your currency, look at the PG&E bill, take a picture of a website, and you can interrogate the website. You don't need to search through the website. You can actually share a website, filter it through one of these AI apps, and then start interrogating the website. Where's the button to do this? So anyway, on the hallucination front, I'm curious if there are any procedures or protocols that are being worked on that would pop up a little danger sign saying, danger, you're going into potential hallucination zones.
Let's see. Lacey, you have an answer for that?
Yeah. So one thing that I have noticed is that the shorter descriptions tend to be tend to be more accurate given if it's the same underlying model quality. A short description is more likely to be accurate than a long description. If you start asking it more and more, sometimes those later details is where it gets a little fuzzy. So I've found that a lot of times the gist, the overall impression tends to be right, even if some of the details, some of the specifics are wrong. So it might describe a scene and it says, 7 friends holding hands at a party, and like maybe there's really only 6 of them, or maybe one of them is a child, or right, like it might get the colors of their shirts wrong, but like the environment, the kind of vibe of it is more often right. It's something I've observed.
Right. And that's what we observing as well. And we, like we talked before, I even mentioned that at the beginning today. It happens to us in the past when we were using OCR to read text. So this is not new. Let's remember that, right? So probably like Walter and everybody we have been mentioning today, common sense, make sure you ask twice. If you have questions or if you need to restart, you can restart. Stay within the subject of what you wanted to talk. And if you start seeing something strange, probably start to direct it back to, okay, but what about the menu? What about this picture? The person they see what is the hat color, or what is the name of the team? Things like that. Try to direct exactly what you want and maintain yourself in there. So that will be some of the things that we have observed, that we can redirect, re-guide the AI of what we want. We are closing to the last few minutes. So Juanita, we still have some questions on the chat or on
Uh,
the here.
yes,
I'm sorry, I'm so.
we have one last person who has raised their hand again, Subida.
All right, can you hear me? Okay,
Yes, yeah.
I had several, but I'll just stick to one or two. Okay, but for the point feature, for example, let's say I haven't started using the Meta glasses yet, but either that or I don't know which other feature you were referring to, where you can point. Can you remind me? Where you can point. Was it the Seeing AI, where you can use the image description and point to get like a
There is
particular.
Yes, there is a feature on Seeing AI that you can use to point. Once you take a picture, you can use it to explore, and then you put your finger on the picture on the phone, and then you start moving your finger, and it will tell you. With the Meta glasses, that what I mentioned is that for example, you can take a picture. You can say, "Look, and we'll talk about in the next. This is going to our next event, but that's fine.
Right.
And basically, you take a picture, and you can say, for example, what color is this? Of what's the price? Of what's the brand? Things like
Right.
that.
No, so my question was, for example, Meta glasses, let's say, can you point it to like a screen on your to your computer, like you're on the web or somewhere, and you can ask it, you can point and say, okay, what am I pointing? Is this the button for this? Or on this page, when I get to this button, can you, give me some sort of a signal that I'm on the right, so things like that. Can it do that? Can you interact in a way? Has it got to that point yet?
I can I'd like to see if I can somewhat answer your question. Currently, there is no live video feed option where you could ask it to guide you somewhere or point in a direction. Talking about the Meta glasses, that is, and have it lead you in or guide you in a direction, something like that. The one feature we did discuss.
I'm talking about on the computer, like you're on a page and you have like buttons or links or something. And sometimes, you're not doing so well with your screen reader and you're just all over. Can you just point to a screen where you think it's a button or a link and you say, hey, is this, I don't know, or on this page, can you look for this? I'm going to point, and when I get to it, would you be able to tell me that I'm on the right?
For that, it would, for the Meta glasses, that would require a live video feed, and that's not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption.
No worries.
That was a really good question.
No, it's a good, and it's what we talked before. We will call that like a life mode where you're following up, right? We're just moving your finger. We are seeing some of it now, but it's more like you tell that you keep the finger there. It will take the picture and it will describe, but then you have to find it again. It did not allow you to then ask more about it. So basically, continue that conversation based on that. So we will get in there. Okay.
But the feature that may have led to this is where we talked about point and speak on the iPhone, right? And that one uses artificial intelligence, and you can point at an item and it'll read just what you're pointing at. But that's on the iPhone. That is not a Meta Glasses feature. That is an iPhone magnifier app feature.
We'll continue those conversations. So let's see. But probably when we do the next one, we might have more information to you because this is coming by the month. And like Walter said, we are even seeing it that in the Seeing AI app, right, with the new generating a video description for short videos and the audio description for the short videos, which is so cool. Right. I think that no, probably we'll have to. This will be the end for this one today. So thank you all so much for the people that have been here with us. Please, we are welcome you to stay, to chat with us, to continue doing a little bit of networking here. And for the people on Zoom, thanks a lot. Our next one, remember, January 29th. We will be sending more information shortly, so please be on the look for that promotion. So, and we recommend everybody to RSVP again for each of the events. So we have a count. And Fernando?
Yeah, so just to close out, thank you again to everybody. Thank you, Lisi, for joining us. Appreciate your input. Appreciate your expertise. And we do have that event on January 29th. It'll be an evening event just like this one. It's called Embracing AI, Acquiring New Skills Through Intelligent Technology. We'll have all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. We'll have a lot of demos. It'll be fun. So thank you again to everyone, those who are here in the room. If you can, stay with us a few minutes. And those who are on Zoom, thank you so very much.
All right. Thank you.